Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of our requested game. So if you watched the last part, you know that we spent a bit of time building up. We got a decent expansion phase considering the map circumstances and the difficulty, and we used a bunch of mounted warriors, included some upgraded ones, to attack the Arabs and take their cities. So we made peace with them, we got some good stuff in the peace deal, and we are moving forward now. So in the comments of the first video, there's some people talking about the consequences of breaking a peace deal, and not people, even respected players, were not quite agreeing with each other, so or themselves. So I'm not really sure what to believe, but I think it's safe to do things the way that I said that I would do them, where if you do like a white piece, just like peace for nothing, it's safe. Or if you give something for the piece, it's safe to attack. But if you do a peace deal where you get something from them, then you would be breaking your trade reputation to attack them immediately afterwards, or at least within the first 20 turns, the 20-turn peace deal window. Again, not exactly sure that that's exactly how it's worked, but that's that's the assumption I was playing under when I made this part right here. So we're stacking up right now, and we need to decide: do we wait 20 turns and go for the Arabs again, or do we try to bait them into declaring war on us, or do we go for the Mongols? So there's a nice city spot northeast that's clear now because I raised some Arab cities that had the border expand. So we're going to try to get that out of Tonawanda. We see our settler right there. We might want to have some more settlers on deck just because there's going to be more opportunities to plant more raised cities, but we'll see. So notice how I'm not roading that tile. This is because I don't want to hook iron because I want the option to still build warriors, but I think it would be okay here ultimately to hook the iron. I'm not really dying for that option. Still, warriors are a good thing to build. Yeah, so there's some Arab units in the north there, so if I can plant a city there immediately, then I could kick them out of my land. If I kick them out of my land, I think they'll attack me. Okay, Mongol is not looking that strong. Right, and if I'm paying them like a bunch of gold per turn. So if I get them to declare war on me, it's really good because I can both double down on the war and like keep attacking them before they have the chance to recover, and I can also not pay them the gold per turn that I owe them, or that I agreed to pay them. Really, it would be them who are bailing on the deal if they declare war on me. But yeah, that depends on the military strength. Honestly, right now, because they're fighting another war and they lost a war against me, it's actually not a given that I have a weaker military than them. Typically, you take that for granted on Sid. Like, culture and military, you're just going to be behind, which has some advantages and disadvantages. Right, like if you're behind in military, they're more likely to attack you, but you can kick them out of your land. Or sorry, you can have them declare war on you if you want to very easily, and that's beneficial, of course, if they owe you money per turn. But obviously, yeah, you don't want to be attacked. So again, advantages and disadvantages. So I'm setting up my units here, just moving them around. Kind of got a little stack here. I'm like preparing for the possibility he might enter my land, and if I do that, I could start a war. Notice how northeast of Alangeni, the road there is done, so I can directly attack Khorasan if I want to. I ideally want to do that before he gets to size 7. I think the benefit is that because the city's kind of low food, he's struggling to grow it a bit. So even though like the box fills quickly on Sid, it won't produce food where you don't have food. Like if you do have a food surplus, you will grow. They grow. Sorry, it takes me 20 food to grow to the next size. It takes him 8 food to grow to the next size. But if you don't have a food surplus, being a Sid level AI will not fix that. So here I think I want to plant one tile further just to annex some more land and get myself that deer there, just so the city's not complete garbage. That will do a worker every 10 turns. That's pretty good. Yeah, so I'm finally getting my commerce in order. That might not have been right now, but my commerce is certainly in order, and I'm using it to pay for embassies. It gives me information about the map. I think I actually get both the deers if I get the expand there. It's nice. Ah, okay. Looks like I was paying attention there. So yes, hitting those breakpoints. This is something you learn from multiplayer. Super, super crucial. Okay, so I see how weak that is, and I just decide I'm gonna go for tattoo. Not on a hill, not size 7, no walls, and only a veteran spearman in there. I can crush that. So there's two easy-looking border cities. Like if you remember the war with the Arabs, I had to take cities on hills, and he had like a veteran in there at the start. Yeah, you see the gold per turn there. So I'm paying that, so I can't go for the Arabs unless I can kick him out of my land, which doesn't look like he's passing through my land even. So because of that, I have to go for the Mongols, but Mongols seem like a good target too. So if I'm lucky, I can blitz both the cities, and I can take them both in a single turn. We'll see if that's possible, but that would be the plan. Alenghi's still like kind of liable to flip, so I should probably be careful with that. I can't. I have to leave two cities or two units in Salamanca to avoid making my economy worse. But I'm still producing spearmen so that I can defend the cities I take. I'll say that the land I'm fighting into the Mongols with is more flat land, which is beneficial for me because I've got the fast-moving units. Should probably micro Mach chunk so that I'm using the deer. When you take like a tile from somebody, the game kind of glitches out for a bit where it's like, wait, that tile belongs to the Arab, so you can't use that tile. But it fixes itself sooner or later. Maybe it takes a turn. But yeah, having a 2 food tile versus having a 1 food tile makes you literally grow twice as fast in this circumstance. So you can see it's quite important. Okay, how many do I have in Alenghi? I think I just forgot about those units and it's like, oh, I totally can just crush both of those cities. And I think if I'm willing to attack over the river, I can do it from the same spot too. Like that's the ideal circumstances. That you can attack both cities from the same spot. That way, because you never know, like you might roll good on one side and roll bad on the other side. Or maybe they just have more units on one side or better units on the other side. So being able to distribute your forces more flexibly allows you to use fewer forces ultimately. And that's why mobility on units is so key. Sorry, one of the many reasons. The retreat option is fantastic. But being able to have fewer units do basically the same thing is wonderful. So you see I'm roading up there to Fustat. I want the option to go fight him there. At this point, I should be considering getting a temple in Mach Chunk. Yeah, you see I've got that in production. Okay, get to the good part, Suede. What are you waiting for? Setting things up properly. High pressure on this game. I think when I started this part, this was before I even posted part 1 because I was like not sure. Like this looks like it's going good, but I might just immediately mess this up. So let's see if that happens. And it doesn't look like that's happening right now. It looks like I'm on pace to do good things. Okay, not taking any risks. I have the settler. Just raise tattoo. Planting on the river would probably be the better city spot, but I want the wines immediately. Yeah, that did not take much. That's annoying though, right? Because not only can you just immediately retake the city, I can't attack those units, but also he can attack those the units I have on the road. He can attack them, and I don't have any like defensive units in position to defend against that. So I'm just gonna have to like back off, let him take the city. There's no war awareness, so like it doesn't build up war awareness penalty. Better than like piling more units into the city that would just get hit. The good news, again, I'm playing with mounted units, so even though he can just get free attacks on my mounted warriors, my mounted warriors are quite likely to retreat. I believe it's 60%, maybe a bit more when you're a veteran unit. So yeah, he'll maybe kill 2 of my units, and that's fine. The one in Almirac, of course, you can't retreat it out of a city, so that's not going to retreat. Okay, checking out wonders. The Arabs have the statue of Zeus, but spoilers if this hasn't been revealed yet, but it's in Medina, and Medina is quite far away. It's like actually further than his capital. Yeah, takes the city. I get lucky there. Somehow I get a promotion and then I retreat after that, which is phenomenal. So I only lost 1 unit there and it was just a reg. Okay, so attacking with because it was an easy combat, I attack with the veteran unit first. This is important. And that's what gave me the army. If I just attacked with any other unit, like a veteran, I wouldn't get the army there. Attacking with a reg would also be kind of okay, because then, yeah, you see the flexibility of the forces is screwing me. But if attacking with a reg is okay because you need to promote a reg, so you want like a combat that doesn't suck for it. But then I realized, wait, I can just attack from here as long as I just attack across the river. So attack. So you got to turn this into an army first. You can't have 2 armies active at once. So if you want to do what I just did, with ridiculous odds, that's like a 1 in 30 chance. Yeah, I shake the screen because I'm so hyped about that. If you want to do what I just did, you have to, as soon as you make the leader, if you're going to be attacking with more elites, turn it into whatever you're going to do with it. So either go rush the building or go make an army, even if you're not using the army just yet. Even if you don't know what's going in the army, make it an army, just so you can get more leaders. Because having 1 leader is great. Having 2 leaders, almost twice as good. Phenomenal. So yeah, I do have a lot of units to put in these armies too. And now this just becomes a joke. Conquering the Mongols, what can they possibly do? Good thing is they don't attack into full health armies, so it gives us like a way to escort our units, especially because capital's 3 away, so it can be difficult to get units into position there. But having the army to escort means that's not an issue, of course. So in Mach Chunk, I want to chain Pop Rush in Mach Chunk. Strategy I think I'd mentioned that I would show you, and so you will see later in this part of the video. But yeah, this is just phenomenal luck for Sid. I'm not sure if this is just a really good save, but I would actually be down to do some streams of this, just like the same map type, same civ, maybe the same opponents too. Just see, was this a fluke right now that I'm kicking so much ass so early? Or is this just a really good civ and a really good template? Because the Iroquois a lot of the advantages I'm having right now are just because the Iroquois are being the Iroquois. Okay, so you see he actually did manage to hold the city there. Okay, now my catapults get in, so that makes things a lot easier. Okay, so the ones that have produced an army go into the army because they can't produce another great leader. We attack with the other elite. Didn't get insane odds, but we do not deserve it at this point. We deserve to be cursed by the RNG gods for 50 billion years. And every time like I'm on stream and I'm whining against RNG, you could be like, Swade, you said you deserved this. I want you to know that, Swade, in the future, you did it to yourself when you get bad luck. Okay, but right now we don't have to worry about bad luck because we're cruising. We're having good luck. This is a good time. Okay, we're still in our golden age. We're still producing a lot of gold per turn. Our capital's still pumping out a lot of units because we still need units. So as we're still getting very good value out of these units, as long as we're fighting spears, mounted warriors are just phenomenal value as a unit. Catapults, always, as long as you have the unit support, which I do because we're still in despotism, catapults are good. Catapults are the kind of thing where you can just like have them and you can just disband them later once you need the unit support freed up, and it's fine. Like you get a solid amount of value out of them and then you disband them. They're very consistent. And then when you disband, like you get 5 shields back. Like don't neglect that. Like and that can go wherever you want it to. Like so that's like worth more than 5 shields based on that. If you could just like do like caravans in Civ 2 and just move your shields around, that would be a valuable service. So the fact that you can disband the catapults in the city you want to is a valuable service there. So yeah, so I'd say you get maybe 6 or 7 shields worth of value. So you're getting a third of your value back, and then the catapult will do stuff in the meantime. And it's just good to be prepared, like especially because like having army on hand protects against bad diplomatic events like being declared war on. Yeah, okay. Pyramids, Great Library. This is a target for us, but again, I'm not sure if I want to go for the Great Library this game. If I can maybe win without doing the Great Library slingshot, that would be cool. We'll see where the game takes us. Samaria and Babylon. Yeah, I think I've met Samaria somehow, but I don't know where they are. Okay, this is annoying me. They're coming two different directions at me. Okay, I can just attack with the army if I want to. Okay, so attack here. This is nice because... Oh, nope. It's okay. Again, we want to win combats with the elite. St. Regis, here we go. Did you see how much gold we got? We got like 7 gold. Am I behind? I think I'm over the unit support cap right now, actually. That's kind of rare in Despotism, especially without... I don't have that many workers. Most of these are stolen workers. But that's okay. Anyway, it just means our economy will improve as we take more cities, or if we lose units. Always nice that it doesn't completely screw us if we lose units. Yeah, again, annoying here, but it's pretty much a crapshoot attacking into the... it's not that... Because of the retreat function, it's not that much of a crapshoot, but I don't want to be attacking into that spear here without weakening it up with a catapult. Weakening it up with a catapult. There's that kind of a dichotomy between, do I want to be taking good trades or do I want to use my tempo and like be getting objectives? Okay, that's looking awfully weak to me, so I'm kind of eyeing that up right now. Yeah, because you can often blitz through things if you take bad trades. If you like wait till all of your catapults are in position to attack every single unit, and you never attack a unit that's not completely redlined, then yeah, you're not going to lose many units, but you're also going to move through things very slowly, and sometimes that's not enough. Like especially like right now with our unique unit, great odds with your army. With our unique unit, we have a window. Like if we move too slowly, they're going to get pikemen, and then we're going to do way worse than if we just kind of blitzed a little early on. So yeah, that's something you want to be thinking about. Am I in a hurry here? Or can I take my time? If you're in a hurry, how much of a hurry are you in? Yeah, because of the lack of roads there, I can't get the catapults where I want them to be. But I guess eventually he's going to have to go on flatland, so I'll attack him once he gets to the flatland. That should be fine. Why am I doing this? Yeah. Like, if I block him off, he's just... Oh, I guess you want him to, like... Yeah, that doesn't make any... Oh, okay, I see. So, yeah, if he went northwest, then my one mounted warrior that's in position would have to attack across the river, which I don't want. Again, there's not, like, a mountain, an ocean of depth in the Civ 3 combat mechanics, but the depth that's there you should pay attention to and play well. But yeah, because defeat in detail is so important, most of it comes down to just have more units than the enemy. Okay, so I moved the melee units first, just to kind of soak the blows. Because if they survive, that's fine. They get there for the attack. But if they get attacked, that's good for us because their enemy units will either die or they're just going to be hanging around damaged, and we can just go kill them. Much better that than them hanging out in the city or them attacking our stack. I guess like we have the armies to guard us, so that probably wouldn't happen. They would probably just hang out in the city, which we don't want. Okay, with the army, we got really good RNG. Yeah, taking the catapults just in case. We have them around. Might as well move them forward. And now there's that other spearman there. Like, I guess these spearmen... No, I'd probably almost rather them... In this specific case, I'd rather them on the hills than in the city. Because cities get a 50% defense bonus, and the tattoos on a hill, hills get a 50% defense bonus. Okay, here I decided to go... do I go south or north? I think my reasoning is that I'm going to fight another war against the Arabs, so I don't want to go north. I could just do a second boat, though. Honestly, I should have done this ages ago with the galleys. Like, as soon as I got map making, if I could have spared it, and I should have not been dicking around with that Kurag. That was a mistake. But you saw how I got suckered into it. It's like, oh, check out this island. Maybe it leads to somewhere. Oh, it doesn't lead anywhere. And now I've discovered all this jungle south of the Mongols that I don't want to learn more about. Yeah, see, we are learning using the catapults here, so it's been useful. Anyway, we're making up for lost time. And like the Kura was, oof, that's rough, but we still had the retreat option if we were doing really bad. That's good RNG. It's fine. Good. Good. I'm not attacking across the river here. No, I'm not attacking across the river. Good. And I just raised the city. It's just too likely to flip right now. And lucky for us, Tonawanda just produced a settler. Completely planned, of course. I don't remember. Maybe it was, or maybe it wasn't. I still don't want to keep the units in that city to the north. You might get like into a false sense of security, but keep in mind that it's still a captured city, and captured cities are likely to flip on difficulty. So don't keep big stacks there when they're healing up. Put it somewhere else. We can put it in the new city because that one we planted. Okay, this is a chain pop rush here. See how that works? That city was liable to flip. As soon as we get the border expand, it should be fine. Also, just like having a few more temples, maybe we like might get around to having more global culture, and that will improve our chances of not flipping in all cities. Okay, I'm trying to set this up so I can take Hove to next turn. This should be good, right? Yeah, this should be good here. Yeah. It's the one after that where things got sketchy. So you might think, why are you moving that damage one to position? Why don't you let it heal? But the issue is that it's already attacked, right? So it can't heal this turn, so I might as well move it. But that being said, if I keep it there, he can attack into it. And they do, like, when the armies are damaged, they do sometimes attack into the damaged army. So I don't want to keep it on that Wines tile on the hill, because then he might attack into it. And then if he gets a god roll, he could kill it. Okay, so that's that. But I don't want to keep it in the city too, because the city could hypothetically flip. I might as well put it one tile north, because it can just reach the city. It can reach Tattoo at the same time. But without any risk of being attacked or of the city flipping and losing the unit. Because these armies are important. You got to take care of your armies. Interesting how I go for that first. Might have been more risky than it should have needed to be. This one I'm going to take. Kind of doing a balance between the two. Okay, and now I see that here, and I'm thinking the city's size 6. I can take that next turn. I got a few guys who can make it. Probably could have that reg that's on the hill there. I probably could have had that in time for the attack. But we get what we get. This one's out of moves. Otherwise, we could have taken it to the party. But that's like a moderately healthy stack to be attacking Kazan. Golden Age is over. You see, we're not getting the bonus shield anymore. There's a turn where it like won't show the bonus shield, but it will still say you're in a Golden Age, and it'll still give you the production estimates as if you were. You're not. When that happens, just assume you're not in a Golden Age. Temple, yeah. Get that border expand. Nothing really Aiken to do there, so we can just wait off the 2 turns worth of unhappiness and get the expensive building. I've learned that generally in Despotism or in Civ 3, if there's something you want and you don't really need the population right now, just pop rushing is just a good deal. Okay, he's got the vet there that just came out. Yeah, so we roll bad the first one, roll good. Should really be attacking with the vet. Crap. And now he gets the free pot shot with the archer. So that was bad. I shouldn't have attacked. I should have attacked the archer. Now I'm looking at my options. Because if I took the city, he would have just retaken it. So there's no point. Unless I wanted to raise it. I guess I could have raised that. Yeah, that probably would have been a good deal. Can get some techs here. Not fall too far behind. Okay, so now I have to choose. Do I want to keep pushing here, or am I satisfied with what I have? Because I've just destroyed his productive core. Well, I guess Hov's tattoo and yeah, I guess I've got 4 cities off him now. That's pretty good. Keep in mind, I will have incense in the once I get the border expand in what used to be his capital. So I don't really need to take that incense. Still, it'd be nice to like deal like a crippling blow. It depends on what you want. Sometimes you want to keep them strong, but he doesn't border any other civ. Like it's gonna be me fighting him eventually. I'd like him to be weak. Yeah, just taking everything in the kitchen sink. I want to get him dead next turn, or get that city dead next turn, so I can move on, make peace, maybe set up to attack the Arabs next. But yeah, because the Aztecs, you might notice the Aztecs on the east there, they're getting crushed by the Arabs. So good thing I weakened the Arabs for one. The Arabs might still be weak if they've been doing some more fighting. Yeah, there's Hill City too. But also that means I basically only have borders with 2 civs. Sorry, I only have borders with 2 civs. So when I'm going to fight, I've got 2 options. I can fight the Mongols, or I can fight the Arabs. So better to do like a decisive blow against the Mongols so I can clean them up at my leisure. And that way focus most of my efforts on the Arabs instead of like leaving them like kind of hanging on where they could maybe put up a fight later on. If I don't time the war correctly. Okay. Should I have even attacked there? Oh, I'm angry. I guess I had 4 more units, yeah. But the elite across the river is size 7. Brutal. But you can retreat, so... Like, when it's bad, it's not that bad. Especially, like, when the thing that makes it bad is high health, because retreat is good against high health. Because you don't retreat if the enemy unit's at 1 health. So if you have, like, an enemy infantry, like, 2 health left... High defense, so it reduces your ability to retreat if you get them down to 1 health. But here, it should be okay. Good. I still got the things I wanted, but I raised his capital, what became his capital city. And maybe I can replant that too. Okay, I got 2 more techs, so I'm doing a quick round of trades, seeing what's up. I am in the next era. Cool stuff, right? Not scientific, so we don't get a tech, but we get to see what they have at least. That's a bad idea, because that's... yeah, good chance that deal falls through and I ruin my trade rep. Like, I guess you could say I'd only need to keep myself at peace with one of the 2 civs between the Arabs and the Mongols, which is a big if on its own, right? Because the civs can declare war on you suddenly for no reason. Especially if you're already at war with one, like in an alliance deal. But actually, if the Arabs conquer too much in the south, they could like block the trade route from the south, and that would stop me from delivering the silks. And if the silks can't be delivered, well, I didn't hold up my end of the bargain, and they say my trade rep is ruined. So again, for the present moment, not gonna trade away any luxuries. It's a good thing they're not actually demanding luxuries, otherwise I'd have to unhook most of them. Yeah, they can put you in some situations where it's like either fight a war with us now or give us this luxury, and then you probably get your trade rep ruined if a war breaks out somewhere else or if you fight a war with someone else. Can be a really tough situation to be in. You know, like if I'm gonna get my trade rep ruined, I want to like really screw someone over in that deal. Not just for some like absolute bullshit where they like greedily demand something out of me and then get mad when I can't deliver the thing that they extorted from me. Calling me a cheat? Fuck you. What the damn hell? That's your own fault for asking for something that I couldn't hold on to, you know? Anyway. Okay, so now again, keep things moving, keep things churning, set up against the Arabs. Sending a spear to the south to defend the new city. I believe we got a settler out of Tonawanda again, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, there's a settler there somewhere. Good. Yeah, oh, out of Grand River. I was thinking. I wasn't paying attention, but when I was playing, I was thinking at least. Okay, so taking some time to admire the eastern side of the map. We know surprisingly little, but we got a general idea where most of these civs are. Not really, I guess. Only 3 plus the Aztecs. If you're wondering, from what I remember from the trade diplomacy screen, they're kind of holding on with like at least 3 cities. They're not just like stranded on an island somewhere, as far as I know. If they are, it's a pretty big island. Yeah, so at this point you might be tempted to start building buildings, but honestly, there's not really any buildings that are very good. So the cities that have barracks are core cities. So they don't benefit a ton from a courthouse. Like it'd be okay, it's still better than nothing, but not better than units in a situation like this. If we were in Republic and we were at the unit cap, or over the unit cap, we would want to do development buildings, but here that's not an option. I guess we could do marketplaces. Like we are like building up like a sizable collection of luxuries, and marketplaces, of course, they get exponentially better for each, or multiplicatively better for each luxury that you have. So markets would be okay if we wanted to improve our economy. Of course, we're not really teching here. We're mostly just buying techs and reselling them. So don't go thinking we need libraries here. Although eventually we might. I guess if we're not doing the Great Library, we might want to... No, we're probably just still going to buy stuff. Yeah, because of like the map settings, I think there's going to be like an abundance of weak civs. So we're going to have like decent trade options at all times, is how I'm feeling. That's my prediction at least. So when I recorded the commentary for part 1, I'd already played this part right here, but I have not played part 3 yet. So we'll see where it goes. But yeah, my macro management's pretty boring at this point. Most of the important worker moves have been done. Most of the worker moves that you could learn stuff from. And most of the stuff I'm building is just mounted warriors. But how I manage things in the south would be worth taking into account if you're looking for tips here. So the mix between raising and capturing cities, I'm choosing it kind of strategically. Like, how badly would I be screwed if it flipped? Like, if Hoved flipped, that's not the end of the world. I guess it would cut off the southern city that I'm about to plant. But like, if the capital flips, that like gives them a big boost of production, while at the same time removing one of my luxuries potentially if I get the incense. Is that a hill city? I think it wasn't on the hill, but then I replanted it on the hill. Okay. But it would be a size 7, I think, unless I starved it down. Anyway, just and it has a lot of culture too, so I can't just stroll right in. Like Hoved, I can just stroll right in. But with the capital, because it does like the triple border or the double border expand. Oh, I'm just ready to fucking go soon. Yeah, one more turn on the per turn gold deal. Anyway, because the capital is the second tier border expand, what that means is that if it flips, it's just very hard to get the unit. It's sorry, not very hard, but it is harder to get the units in position. Which, if like my units are already like halfway across the empire fighting the Arabs, gets really dicey. And I don't even know if I really want to retake the city, right? Like I don't want to break my peace deal. Or break. I'm not again not sure about the trade rep thing, but I wouldn't want to start a whole two front war for no reason. So realistically, I'd probably just let him have the city, and that would just like give him a lot of power and like take some positioning away from me for future fights with the Mongols. So when I go to fight the Mongols again, I want to be stomping them out of existence. I don't want to have to be like retaking their cap before I can move on to the stomping. Keep in mind, the Mongols have iron. They also have two luxuries down there. So like, um, weakening them and like having the option to kill them later is quite important here. So I'm glad I did the damage that I did. Um, so they have iron. So if they get feudalism, they could do pikemen. So I don't want that to be harder than it has to be getting the silks or the dyes. But like realistically, what the fuck? I'm gonna go back. That was genuinely shocking. um, not just to me in the moment, but me watching this. I forgot what this happened. I guess we accepted his peace deal, and then he immediately declared war on us. Fuck that dude. Luckily, we had the catapults in position. I don't know if they're gonna get any good shots. No, but we have our units like right there. So yeah, not great, but I guess we get war happiness from things panning out this way. I don't know. Notice how we wanted to go with these southern units first, because the northern ones can still attack his cities. Good. We're gonna go for Fustat, cut his iron immediately. We want to do this before he gets feudalism, and that's coming up really soon. It's actually a miracle he doesn't have it already. Take the city. We're not gonna have a settler anytime soon. Good. We'll see if he attacks my galley. I built another one. It's going north. Okay, so this is a bit of a tactical mistake. I think I should have attacked with the vets first, because that's a very weak city. And the issue now is that I have to guard both the city and I have to guard the army, and I don't think I can do both at once. So I pretty much have to give up the city. And then, how do I save this army? Shit. Yeah, I really didn't think this through. Oh, wait, no, it's fine. Okay, I have to take Yamama. Take that city out for like a Sunday dinner. Good. And now I can go kill this. Yeah, it doesn't matter actually at this point. He can only reach me with the one on the hill mountain. So yeah, at this point I have to slam into the mountain stuff, which is not fun. I'm running out of units, but at the last second, yeah, there we go. Okay, so the army is safe. But wait, he can actually retake the city, and then just depends what's under the spearmen on the mountain. But anyway, the iron is cut for now. This is important. The city's finally safe from flipping. Alangeni right now literally cannot flip. So I can finally just stockpile a bunch of units in it. It's always good to have archers in a city you know you're going to be attacked in, because if you have archers there, that means you're getting the defensive bombard from the archers, which, again, it's not a big factor, but like you don't have that many factors for improving your odds in Civ 3. That's just how the game is set up. So for the factors that do exist, it's not a very mechanically intense game in terms of combat mechanics. So for the factors that do exist, you have to use them to the best that you can. So if you have an archer that's just around and you know you're going to be attacked in a specific place, put it under that stack so you benefit from the defensive bombard. Again, it's like 1 damage, and then it's like what, like against the swordsman, I think it's only a 1 in 3 chance. It's only 1 bombard in the archer, right? So it might sound silly, it might sound very small, but again, there's only so much you can do, and it's just like guaranteed extra value. So take the value where you can get it. Okay, with the war happiness, I don't know why. Okay, I had to deal with that, But again, luckily, I just have a conspicuous stack of catapults right next to Kufa. He hurries out another spearman. It's really annoying that the AI has the power to do that. The human player cannot do that because of the ways that the turns are structured, but that's how things are. God knows the human players get other advantages. So, looking kind of bad, honestly, relatively. A lot of our units are damaged, and we now need to get 2 more cities. But this just barely works. Okay. What? Oh. Yeah, I guess that's yeah, it's a 1 health unit. I can take the city. Yeah, that's fine. Cities can't flip the turn you take them, so keeping my army in there is safe. Fairly wanted to risk it. I could hang out there in an additional turn to get the barracks bonus on the heal. I'm gonna go save my army, I think. Yeah, even if I take the city, I can't hold it and I can't protect the army. And I'm still firing away with the catapults. Like, getting value out of catapults is good. And getting the walls. I should have got those walls ages ago, but yeah, now his units attacking me right now this turn are quite damaged, so that should be fine. And the ones next turn I'll have the walls to guard me, so it should be okay. Okay, exploring more of the map, learning geography. Yeah, it's wasting some shields, but it doesn't matter because of the way we're chain pop rushing. Barracks, temple. You'd have to get creative if you're a militaristic civ, and the barracks was a different price. Can't get as deep as his former capital was, but that's okay. I probably wouldn't want to be that deep anyway. Just 2 tiles away is fine. Gives me a little jumping off point when I go to fight him again next time. Yeah, okay. So again, it looks like I'm out of steam here. I have to guard these 2 cities awkwardly. I haven't cut his second iron, so he could get feudalism any time now, and that would really be a thorn in my side. But I did take 2 cities off him, so... And I guess I killed a bunch of his units. Not too many, but enough. But you see, this is Deity, of course, or sorry, this is Sid, of course. So just the stream of units coming from his other cities. All these regular spearmen. We'll see if I'll be able to handle this. Okay, so he actually takes my catapult. I don't know what happened there exactly. Yeah, I know he's just like taking free shots at my mounted warriors from within the city. But the good news is I have the road now. I had so many workers on hand, I was just able to take the road. Okay, he's backed off Alangani. That's good. Nice. Yeah, warrior, again, warrior, just like if I'm going to lose a random unit, having it be a warrior is actually really fucking good. Warriors just exist to buy time, and then with the time that I buy, I can take Coruscant. And once I have Coruscant, his ability, well, at least once I have it roaded, like I'll be able to like rotate my units between. It'll be a lot less awkward defending the city, and he'll have no iron, which will really limit his production opportunities. Yeah, like these 2 are just the most important cities to get. Yamama. Oh, sorry, the 3. I guess I wanted to get rid of both of his sources of iron. I guess it's possible he has one that I can't see, but that seemed unlikely to me. So yeah, just taking those 2 irons alone would guarantee or validate the cost of admission. That being said, though, getting Coruscant on its own would be likely to flip. I guess I could raise and replant it. There is a settler coming out of Coruscant. But it works a lot better this way with me taking Yamama too. Again, so if you don't know how the city flips works, it's based on the number of foreign tiles in your big fat cross. The big fat cross is like the fat plus shape that your city makes when you get the first tier of border expanse. So within that shape, around your city, how many foreign tiles are there? So, for example, in Akwesasne to the south there, you'll see that some of the tiles that would be my big fat cross are Mongol tiles. And in Yamama, a lot of the tiles that would be in my big fat cross are Arab tiles. Now, they might not stay that way when I get the border expand, but in the short run, that counts as a factor against me when predicting whether or not the city will culture flip. The second biggest factor is foreign citizens. Again, if the city has no foreign tiles in the BFC and it has no foreign citizens, the city literally cannot flip. And those are by far the biggest factors. There are some other factors too, but specifically in Yamama, at least, those factors aren't really working out too well for me. Resistance makes the city more likely to flip, and Yamama has 5 resistors. That's why I'm like putting a few units in there more than I necessarily need to defend the city, even though it's liable to flip because, yeah, pulling those units out, I should have had a lot of those there in the first place. I love that combo of like you get the promotion and then you get the retreat. It's beautiful. But yeah, but I'm putting the units there so I can put down the resistors. That's the intention there. So even if it risks the city flipping and losing those units, have I not learned my lesson? I should just attack with like I don't care if I lose random reg mounted warriors. That would have been probably pretty bad if I lost if I won that combat and my army entered the city. This is fine because I can just kill these 2 swordsmen. Yeah. Other factors with that govern whether or not the city flips or not: proximity to the 2 capitals. Yamama is like reasonably close to my capital, but it is much closer to the Arab capital, so that factor is an L for me. And global culture ratio is the final big one off the top of my head. There might be something else I'm forgetting. And my global culture ratio is probably pretty bad compared to the Arabs. In fact, it might be the worst that it possibly can be. So yeah, all those factors combined mean that the city is very likely to flip. But if I take Khorasan, it reduces the number of foreign tiles in my BFC. So that works for both the cities. It means Khorasan's less likely to flip, and it means Yamama's less likely to flip. Interesting that I actually took both those cities. That might not be what I would do off the top of my head right now. But we'll see how that goes. Yeah, there's just like a big flip risk between those 2 cities. And I do have the settler out. I don't wonder where that settler is going, if not to replant one of those 2 cities I just took. Maybe I'm just really optimistic. Maybe I think I can plow through and take another city. We'll see. Okay, having that road to Khorasan would be quite useful. I think I have that big stack of workers north of Khorasan, so the road will be complete soon. Yeah, taking those spearmen up. We do need spearmen in position. If I'm not mistaken, I think my capital will get a lot of war happiness because he declared war on me. So I think maybe I can actually pull the units into my capital to go guard the cities on the front line. Just something to consider, I guess. We'll see if we can get a peek at the happiness in our capital. That's my prediction. With 30% of the happiness ladder, seems reasonably to be true. Although he's got those boats to the west. No, I don't want to get landed. Lose my capital. And because we're like pushing further away from our capital in terms of our offensive plays, what this means is that our 2-move mounted warriors, which before were so flexible, might no longer not be able to reinforce our core cities if they get boated. So. Yeah, again, keeping the stack outside of the city. The city can flip. I might start pulling units out here, both to put them in the attack, but also because Yamama itself is quite likely to flip, more likely even than Khorasan, because it has more foreign citizens, more resistors, I think. I don't know, maybe I've put the resistance down, but it's certainly closer to his cap and further away from mine. Okay, yeah, so it looks like Damascus is the target. That's the idea. And we got the settler in position. So one last raised city, like a big core, high pop city, raised off the Arabs before we make peace. Really weaken them. Sorry, I think I got distracted when I was talking earlier, but with the Mongols, I do need to kill them eventually, right? I do want to weaken them because I need those two luxuries in the south. But that being said, I need to weaken the Arabs a lot. Like they need to be like in Mongol status where they're just not a threat to me. Like the Mongols can still defend their cities. They can still be a road bump. I need to reduce Arabs to like that road bump status where they can't actively threaten me if they catch me out of position. Yeah, if I mean that'd be very good defensively, right? Like if both of the civs I'm fighting against or I border are quite weak, that would put me in a safe position. But also because if I want to to keep going further east, to keep conquering, I will need the Arabs to be weaker. And we don't know what's out there, right? There might be a very strong civ out there. Right now, it's looking like I got a big empire, and if I just like kind of switched to Republic, got some buildings, I could probably keep up on tech and maybe win Diplo. But we don't know because we haven't seen the rest of the map. So until we do see the rest of the map, we need to keep our options open. And that means making sure the Arabs are weak so that we have the option of conquering further east if that comes up. Okay, good. I think ideally I'd just like pillage southeast of my stack just so he doesn't go on the freaking iron. Like I don't care if he walks into my land as long as he doesn't go next to the iron or go on the iron. Yeah. Once I finish scouting the whole continent with my boats, you see those two boats are finally making their way around to somewhere useful. What I can do after that is I can just start suiciding them. With the Kura, I didn't get very far, but like the extra move makes it more likely. Eventually, we'll get astronomy too. It looks like there's big chunks of sea tiles here. Yeah. So maybe when I get astronomy, that would mean that I could go find if there's any island civs. Because usually on Pangeas like this, there's at least one. Again, for all we know, this could still be one of those like nuggety continents map that you get sometimes with Pangeas with shit settings. Okay, I have to decide now, do I want to go for the attack or do I want to clean up these units here? Yeah, I shouldn't have let him on the mountain for one. And I think this is my call. Oh, no, maybe we're waiting another turn. I could have just walked. I think I need to finish healing up the armies, yeah. Yeah, so I'll finish healing up the armies, and then the armies will guard the catapults. And then I'll just catapult the city and kill it. Okay, so we found the Zulu. We know where the Zulu are now. But yeah, whether it's a Nuggety Pangea or whether it's a Nuggety Continent Pangea or whether it's just a regular Pangea, there's a very good chance that there are civs on other small islands or big islands. Again, might be a second continent. They might even be rivals to us, so we need to meet them. We need to know. But you can kind of judge based on the wonder completions. You can't see this right now, but if I'm not mistaken, like the Celts have, I think the Russians have something, and we haven't met the Russians. The Celts have, I think, like Oracle and then Hanging Gardens. So that suggests that they're not like falling into that Sid trap where they just have a billion units and they're paying a billion unit support. Why did I attack there? That was a bad idea. I need to take the catapults with me. It's vet units. It's a size 7 city. What am I what am I doing? Yeah, heal up your armies, Suede. Hold the phone. Okay. So they have pikes. So the tech's out there, right? Anyway, we can kind of tell that based on the wonders that the Celts aren't like getting completely crippled in their economy. But they would like if they were ahead in tech, they'd be like doing, I don't know, at least Sun Tzu's out of war. If not something like Copernicus's. Yeah, so you can gauge how well the other continent's doing by the wonder completions. A nice trick, a nice piece of information to have. And that's letting me know that I don't need to like freak out too much. So this means as long as I have military control of my own continent, I should be doing okay. There's no like other continent that I can't reach where I'm just getting slammed in terms of tech pace. Okay, getting rid of the resistors, that's nice. I'm willing for the city to flip and for me to lose like a unit or two. That'd be fine. Okay, yeah. Am I going now? Yeah, I guess I'm going now. Oh, Jesus, that stack is so big. I just don't want to attack into like a size 7 city with a veteran unit inside. That's just too bad of a trade for me. So as long as I get the catapults there and the army's guarding the catapults, this is fine. I only really need the one army. In fact, I can have this one heal up and then still make it for the invasion next turn. So that's fine. Take the workers. I want those workers. What can I say? Yeah, I take the settler with me. Just the disrespect settler. In multiplayer, we have what's called the disrespect worker, where it's like you're just so confident that you're going to take their cities that you take a worker with your stack so that you can road to the newly captured city once the city gets captured. Yeah, so you're not even like it's always good to have options either way, but it kind of looks like from their perspective that you're just so confident that you're going to take the city that you're just like doing routine worker moves within their land. Hilarious stuff. Anyway, yep, so he won't attack the stack because the armies. You see how good these armies are? Like, think how hard this would be with no army. I guess I could just use veteran spearmen and it wouldn't be the end of the world. It would probably be a lot slower, though. I think without the two armies, like, we would have got caught earlier on in the attack. I don't know. It's not like we're short on units. I think we could have just, like, wasted away more units and we would have got through as far as we are. Like, if we just took worse trades, we would have made the same amount of pace if we just attacked with regular units. We would have lost some. With the amount we have, it's honestly okay. Now, we do have a lot of catapults here, like a big stack. Yeah, getting the core HP off by a smidge, very important. If we can get some yellow lined too, that'd be very nice. Attack with the army, that's fine. Attack with this army, that's fine too. At that point, yeah, he doesn't have that much left there, actually. He had some vets. Attack with the elite. We've had our good RNG. Still important on principle. That's going to wreck one of our units, but I have to actually be careful that it doesn't wreck our army, so. Oh, but I guess we're just going to make peace. Yeah, that's how it's going to be. So if I can get engineering in the peace deal, I should probably check what other techs the other AI have. Have I done that? But yeah, we just raised a massive city off of him, so. Okay, that's it. Trading away a bit of our gold per turn. That's Suede. What are you doing? No. Better. Okay. Good. Okay. You don't need that extra 2 gold or whatever. Good. Okay, now, I don't know if I checked this. Did I get mono? Oh, okay, I see. So I haven't done this deal yet. I didn't accept the deal. Oh, I do get the 2 gold. Okay. Suede, really driving a hard bargain there. Okay. So yeah, I get the tech. And did someone else not? I checked what they had. Did someone else not have that tech? I think I did consider for a bit where do I want the city to be. Ultimately, I just decide, yeah, if I don't plant right there, then someone might plant a city like between me and the Mongol city of Akkad. Interesting, the Mongols took a city off Babylon despite me smashing the Mongols. Whatever. Okay. So I want mono. Interesting that this makes it so I can't declare war on the Mongols. So I guess we'll have to brush up on our trade deal rules. Okay, he has iron, like, he just has iron in his borders anyway. Yeah, you see the iron right there. So giving him iron's no big deal. Yeah, I guess we'll brush up on the trade real deals, and we really, yeah, we're saving the game now. So if we're not going for the Great Library, we really wouldn't want to push forward to Babylon, even if they're getting their ass kicked. It just like leaves our empire in a weird state where we got this big jutting out position and we have a lot to defend. So I think if we can't go fight the Mongols, we either need to just fix our economy and get into Republic, which we don't really want to do with so many mounted warriors. And still, we're going against spearmen, right? So I think going for the Arabs is right. But yeah, we'll see. I think we're paying gold per turn to the Arabs, actually. So we'll have to get them to declare war on us. I don't know what that's going to be like. Yeah. Maybe that was a bad idea, but my tech situation is much further improved. So yeah, I should be well set up for the next part. And I will see you guys on that topic. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.